I'm Kate.
I'm Hyla.
I have Hyla over to my house today to share with her all of my pickles that I've made over the past year. And I don't really know what I'm saying.
I think that was a good start.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And then we're also going to drink some beer.
Yeah, beer. Cheers.
Yay, cheers, because it's 108 degrees.
Today is 108 degrees in Austin, Texas.
Celsius.
So,
let's get some pickles.
yeah.
Okay.
So there are lots of different types of pickles out there. The ones that a lot of people think are the only pickle are a fermented Lower East Side kind of dill pickle. I've made a fermented pickle using green tomatoes.
Yay.
Note example here.
Wow.
So this just involves putting vegetables in a brine of salt and water and letting it sit and hang out on the shelf
Just
for
like
a couple
room
weeks.
temperature.
Yeah.
And
There are directions on my blog how to make this exact recipe. Maybe I'll have one too.
It's salty and fermenty, but you can still taste tomato through it too.
Right, and it's still
Nice.
nice and crisp.
It's very crispy. I love it.
So, there are other types of pickles besides this fermented pickle. The other type is called a fresh pickle, and that's using vinegar. They're also called, I don't remember. But you can do a whole bunch of different things with them, including make them just in your refrigerator. So a lot of people think you have to make pickles, or to make pickles, you need to pull out your big canner pot and spend all day cutting vegetables. You can make as few as 1 jar of pickles, or as few as 1 sample jar of pickles. I had some leftover brine from some pickled watermelon rind, so I decided let's have a go of it with peaches and see what happens. So we can try those too.
We're gonna do it proper. So the top ones aren't really in the brine so much because it's so full.
It's so jam-packed in there.
So
it is an
I'm gonna get
action
one
circus.
from down here.
That's a good idea.
Ooh, perfect bite-sized one.
Yes, nice and gooey. I'll try a pickled peach here. On my blog, my readers have seen me making pickles with any type of vegetable you have at hand. So that's a really nice, versatile fridge pickling recipe.
Yeah,
And-
it's a good way when you have like an abundance of one particular thing and you're tired of eating it every other way.
right.
Eat pickles and
And you just get to forget about it for a few weeks. And just gets it out of your range of things you have to deal with.
right.
For quite some time.
I like that.
Yeah, and they make delicious snacks for when your friends come over and you
Yay.
can hang out.
And have beer and pickles, which is a time-honored tradition.
Right.
And good gifts.
Yes,
Totally.
definitely.
People are very impressed when you give them a jar of something you made.
Right. And I'll mention that the recipe we make later, or the recipe we're about to make, you could seal that. So if you wanted to mail it across the country to friends, you're welcome to do that too.
Okay,
So it
seal
is safe for sealing on the shelf.
Excellent.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna go make some fridge pickles, which we won't seal, and we'll just eat them.
The first thing we're gonna do is make our brine. So you hold the vinegar,
Okay.
I'll hold the water. It's half vinegar, half water. That's
Okay.
really what the code is here. It'll depend on how much you're pouring in, but you want about a cup of brine for a 2-pint jar. Or I'm sorry, this is 2 pints, but you'll want 1 cup of your brine for 1 packed quart jar,
Okay.
which is 2 pints.
Cool.
So we're gonna do 12 ounces because that's what's in this bottle. So I have 12 ounces of water and 12 ounces of vinegar, and we're gonna pour them in.
Okay.
And the only other magical thing that happens right now in this brine making stage is I'm gonna add a little more than a tablespoon of salt. And like I said, the recipe, don't get out your pens now because the recipe is on the blog. You can look it up later. Pickling spatula. Gonna kind of stir it around a little bit to get that salt to dissolve a little bit, but really it's gonna happen when we turn the heat on to low.
So do you boil the brine, or are you just gonna get it warm enough to dissolve the salt?
I'm gonna dissolve the salt, bring it to a boil, and then turn it off.
Okay, so just to sterilize the water.
Right.
I guess.
Right. I mean, the sterilization would be at about 180 degrees, but this I think also helps shock the veg a little bit too.
Right.
As we
soften them.
pour that hot brine over.
Cool.
So great. All that salt is dissolved.
Awesome.
I'm just going to turn it up a little higher because I put it right on low at first. And voila, our brine is a making.
It's a brining.
And I used a white wine vinegar because that's the one I like.
Yeah.
But you can use any vinegar, especially if you're doing only a fridge pickle, so you're not going to seal it. You can use any kind of vinegar you want. You can do a rice vinegar, you can do cider.
It would just change the color, I guess. Like a cider vinegar would look a little murky, maybe.
Right.
So maybe this is gonna be pretty, because then you still see the green of everything.
Yes, the pretty pickles, our aquarium
Yes.
jar pickles with our wild swimming dill. Okay, so do you want to start cutting those up?
Yeah.
I think we have 3 farm raised cucumbers here, so I think just about that will fit in the jars.
Okay.
Actually, we'll go ahead and put in the jars our spices first.
Okay, cool. I have peppercorns here.
Yeah. So I would put in there like maybe 8.
Oh, that's a lot less than what I have here in my hand.
It could be extra peppery if you like. This is the fun part because this is where you get to go crazy. You don't really have to follow any recipe because the spices are just about flavors.
Yeah.
So if you like a flavor, you should put it in there and see what it tastes like.
Yay! My great aunt makes curry pickles with curry powder.
Ooh.
They're interesting.
Yum. And I love this like single jar thing because what if you don't like the pickle that you're making? So it's a really, who needs 9 whole jars of something that you maybe don't like? So
yeah, it's a good way to experiment for sure.
So I'm gonna do these pickled jalapenos. So for my spice set, I'm gonna add a little bay leaf. And just a little one because we're doing a small jar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add some allspice too.
Yum.
Maybe just 2 berries because it's pretty potent.
Oh, I'll put some dill in mine.
Oh yeah.
Some dill seed.
I'll do some peppercorns too.
Like maybe that much? Is that too much?
That sounds good. You could even do, for the dill, you could do some of those and the fresh dill. So that'll be a good matchup. So I'm gonna slice up some garlic right here. And it doesn't matter how you cut it. You could even leave it whole if you want, but I want a little more surface area going on in this pickle jar.
So it tastes a little more garlicky?
Yeah. Do you want garlic in your pickles?
Yes. Cool.
Just because it's there, I want to put the dill in mine too. Who knows?
That doesn't sound bad.
Dill pickled jalapenos. Great on nachos.
I bet they would be. Or tuna sandwiches.
Right. All right, well, I'm going for it because you
Just
inspired
drop
me.
a big one in.
Drop it in.
Okay. Cool.
So now we have our spices in the jars.
It smells good already.
So for the cucumbers, you're just gonna stick them in there. You're gonna slice them up.
Okay, cool.
And I'm gonna just cut a little slit in these. And then hope for the best.
Right. So you want the slit on those so that the brine can get inside them easier?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're gonna wanna be really careful, like, when you're touching those peppers, because, not mentioning any names, but there have been some incidents in our house where we have touched our faces after some pickled peppering.
Yeah, that'll get you. It hurts real bad.
Yeah, I don't like that. Ooh, those are looking delicious.
They are. They smell delicious as well. Okay, so do this big one in quarters maybe.
Yeah.
And then we'll try to, is that going to be, that'll fit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
That's okay. Pickle down. Future pickle of America on the floor. So Hyla's cutting them just so that they are, Hyla's cutting them so that they fit in the jar. We might have to trim them down a little bit because you want the whole cucumber to be in the brine.
Right.
That we're gonna pour over it.
Submerged.
So our brine just came to a boil. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. If you were making these for sealing them, like on the shelf with like the canner pot and everything, you would definitely not want to boil your vinegar and water too much because water evaporates faster than vinegar.
Oh,
and you could end up with the ratio that's not right. Or I'm sorry, vinegar evaporates faster than water, so you could end up with a ratio that doesn't
actually keep it
safe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But we're doing it in the fridge. We don't have to keep it safe,
right?
Because it's already safe.
We're gonna live on the edge.
Yes.
Okay, should I put these in seed side out? Does that fit better maybe because it's kind of a squarish jar?
Yeah.
I think that would be, and it would look kind of cute.
Yeah.
Do I need to trim it more? Maybe it goes the other way.
Oh yeah, maybe it'll be better flattened.
Like that?
Yeah. You could even do some up against the jar, the back ways. If those are just too big, we can also just cut them down.
Yeah.
It looks like we might need to spear them.
Okay.
Let's spear them. I like your packing. Good job.
Okay. Do you think I can get one more piece in there?
Yeah, I think you could get one little sliver in there. So that's you never be afraid to really pack it in. You know, these are about to be kind of digested by vinegar, so you don't really need to, you obviously don't want to smash the crap out of them, but,
But they're pretty hardy. I mean, yeah, they're not smashed up.
No.
Oh, I bet I could fit one right there.
I bet you could. I'll help do a little moving.
Yeah.
Go. Oh. Yeah.
It's going.
Yay!
Awesome. See, we didn't even need that one on the floor. That one's for the compost.
So this is a really handy trick that I've learned many a burn later. To go ahead and get there's not enough in this pot, but I'm going to pour this brine over this so that when I'm pouring it, I don't burn myself.
Right.
Because I have experienced that. Let's see. So all we're going to do now is just pour this just boiled brine over the top.
And bubbles come up.
See that bubbling action? We'll work with that one in just a sec. So this, and you just want to make sure you cover your produce. And like I said, don't stress out about this floating action because it's going to happen. So I'm going to use the back of my spatula as a bubbler. So I'm just going to press down to try to let some of those bubbles escape. See how they're bubbling up to the top? And the best packed jars will still do something like this. So give yourself a break.
So this is air coming out of the inside of the peppers probably?
It's probably from the inside of the peppers, but also could have been just from the sides, the way they were packed.
Yeah.
So stay down there.
So you just do it until you don't see any more bubbles coming up?
Yeah, I mean, and these are raw packed. We didn't cook the jalapenos beforehand. So what we are seeing is, like you said, from the inside of the pepper. So none of them are gonna they're gonna stay cavernous. So you could bubble forever.
Right.
Don't bubble forever. Go enjoy your Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Okay, and this, I can't even get the bubbler in it. So what I'm gonna do is just press hard on the top. And I've also broken my little bubbler from my canning set because it's just a dinky piece of plastic. So if you've got kind of a harder thing like this, then, but Hyla did such an amazing job packing that I think we're good to go. And we're not sealing these, so if there are some bubbles, they can just kind of flit up in the course of the next 3 weeks or so.
Okay, so we got them bubbled.
And now we're just gonna put lids on them.
Okay.
And hide them in the back of the fridge.
For about 3 weeks?
Yeah, so if you break into them before, they're still gonna taste good. But the longer you wait, or if you just forget about them in the back of the fridge for a month or so, they'll be even more delicious.
Yay. Hey, this isn't a canning lid.
Hey, that's a peanut butter jar lid. And I think this used to be some sort of spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, so reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yay! Into the fridge you go.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm gonna hide it back here.
Bye.
See ya, pickles. Cool. Awesome.
That was it.
That was fun. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thanks for coming over, and I'm gonna give away a copy of Hyla's book.
Oh, yay!
on my blog to lucky readers because Learn to Cook is awesome.
Yay!